Welcome to the Business Strategist, the show for CEOs and founders ready to scale fast, lead smarter, and build a business that doesn't rely on them. I'm Adam Strong, award-winning strategist, former elite athlete, international speaker, and 3 times best-selling author. After 3 decades in business, I know exactly what it takes to grow, scale, and exit with impact. Each week, I dive into real conversations with industry experts, bold entrepreneurs, and clients navigating the uphill struggles of business, giving you the tools and the strategies to create more profit, more freedom, and more impact. Let's get into it. Are you planning to sell your business in the next 3 to 5 years? Then you already know it's not just about finding a buyer, it's about actually protecting what you've actually built. That's where our sponsor, Adam Benedict, comes in. They're one of the leading premier M&A legal firms trusted by founders to simplify complex exits, protect value, and deliver results. Now, if you want a smart, smoother, and strategic exit, visit adambenedict.co.uk.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Have you ever taken on a client or a customer and regretted that decision further on down the line? Or have you ever been in a situation where you've taken on a client or a customer and for whatever reason, there's either a disconnect or a communication breakdown, or they're just a real pain in the ass and just completely regretted it, but you knew that you wanted to go for it because you were chasing the money? So if you've ever been in that situation, welcome to this week's Business Strategist, where I talk a little bit about the 9 different types of architects, or the client or customers architects of the types of clients that you need to avoid. But also I'm going to give you a framework about how to attract the right types of clients that's going to help you grow and scale your business. So let's jump into today, because interestingly enough, and I want to be completely open and honest. So last couple of months it's been a real tough time for me, and it's been tough on a number of reasons. I used to live in Cyprus, but I'm now back in the UK, and you're probably thinking, why the hell did I come back to the UK? So there's a real reason for that, but I want to go into that. But I wanted to share with you a real quick story. And so I'm a guilty party. We're talking about the types of clients and the types of customers that you should attract into your life to grow your business. Well, guess what? I had my radar down and I had failed miserably, which has cost me big. So a couple of months ago, and I won't get into the details of this, I thought that I attracted my dream client, which actually turned into my absolute worst nightmare, okay? I have no clue whatsoever of the reasons why it completely flipped the scripts, but also it helped me to reflect and understand what I should and shouldn't be attracting into my life. It's really been tough on a personal level, but also it's caused a lot of stress and anxiety because I've been moving countries as well. And on top of that, when you have a client which is completely incongruent with your values, but also someone that really drains you and also blames you for whatever it is that they're blaming you for, okay, doesn't make you feel good because they take zero responsibility. And so one of the things that I've been doing is rather than kind of beating myself up about it and really trying to question my integrity and who I am as a person, it's actually I've been using it as an opportunity to reflect and think, was this the right person for me? And the answer to the question was probably no. And so I want to kind of delve into the 9 different architects that I have effectively created. Having my business since the age of 11, I've kind of really got an understanding of not just psychology, but how people tick. And so I've attracted different types of clients, and I'm sure it's been the same for you guys. And one of the things that I have come across or have really kind of understood is who they are, what characteristics, what personalities they are, but also if they have issues. Now, we're all not perfect individuals, but you know what? People that are listening to this podcast not everyone's going to be not everyone's going to be my biggest fan, and I'm okay with that. And it should be the same for you. If someone doesn't like you, guess what? Be okay with it. All right, because guess what? You can't help everybody, and there's always going to be haters out there, and haters always just hate, right? And so let me get straight into the different architects and kind of give you a bit of an understanding of how this works. So I did a great talk actually this morning. We had a group of founders of small businesses, and I went through these different 9 architects, but also we had this great discussion about how we could eliminate or how to reduce those types of people. So the question you have to already ask yourself is, if you've attracted the wrong types of clients in your life, and you've just gone and you just thought about yourself, you just thought about, I need to make money, I need to make sales or whatever, hit targets, I really want you to think about, was it all worth the stress? That's a real big question I had for me is, no, it wasn't. 100% it wasn't. If I'd have known about this person beforehand, there's no way in a million years I would have even dreamed about taking this client on. So these are 9 different types of clients that you probably want to consider parting ways one way or another. So the first type of client is the perfectionist. Now, who is it? What do you need to look for when it comes to a perfectionist? So when you're having a conversation with them, you want to find out how quickly they work. What do they value about? One of the things that I like to do is, before I take on clients, I actually set people a number of tasks. And as part of those tasks, I like to give people a deadline. And it might be 5 days, or we will come to an agreement. How long do you think it will take for you to complete this task? And they might say 4 days, 3 days, 5 days, whatever it might be. And so I will hold them to account, and then I will schedule a call with them. And I will only schedule that call with them provided that they have completed the task at hand, because it helps me to understand, number one, can they complete a very simple task prior to our call? Number two, do they respect my time? And number three, they should see that the task that I'm setting them is for their benefit, okay? Not for me, but for their benefit. And so the first type of client you need to look for is the perfectionist. So no matter how much time or effort you pour into this client, they're never going to move forwards. They're always going to find some sort of excuse. Now, as I mentioned this morning, perfectionism is actually procrastination in disguise. All right. So no matter how much responsibility, they will always provide you with an excuse. So the question is do you really want that? Because effectively, when you take on clients or customers, they buy one thing and one thing only: the result and the transformation. So if you can't deliver that, or you feel like they can't even complete a simple task, think of it, if you were actually taking them on as a full-time client, think of it, there would be an absolute nightmare. And do you really want that to reflect on you as a brand? Probably not. The second type of archetype is called the manipulator. Now, when you're in discussions, you'll have an explanation, but then they will try and twist or misinterpret what you've said. And again, they'll start pointing blame at you. So they will undermine you in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your integrity. They'll make you feel bad, and they'll turn you into what I call a people pleaser. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not a people pleaser whatsoever. If you're a people pleaser, that means you have zero boundaries. It means that people will run all over you just because you're trying to bend over backwards to make them happy. Trust me, it ain't worth it. It's going to make you feel bad. It's going to devalue you as who you are. Someone that takes zero responsibility, and they try and twist it one way or another in terms of your communication. You promise this and I promise this, blah, blah, blah. But actually it's all a lot of BS. Third type of architect is called the energy vampire. Now, the energy vampire will suck all your good energy out of you. It will feel like, when you're having a conversation with this person, it will feel like you're running a marathon, and you dread speaking to those individuals. I don't know if you've ever come into those conversations, but they come across very negative. They might talk about the news and the economy and what's in the media, and they let all those external forces to effectively create this pessimism or negativity. Really want to be around someone that sucks all your good energy, because as soon as they're done with you, they'll dump you, Trust me, you'll just want to go lay down, and you want to, because you're so exhausted after having a conversation. If you ever come across those types of people, make sure that you cut ties with them. Number 4, the persecutor. The persecutor always believes it's your fault regardless. They take zero responsibility, and they have this mindset of they must win. They will try and prove whatever it is that they are trying to prove, whether you're right, where they're right and you're wrong. And they're very rigid. They may have childhood trauma, or they're caught up in what we call the drama triangle as well. But often persecutors can come across as bullies. They use tactics of fear, intimidation, just to validate their actions and behaviors. And now, would you want to tolerate that? Would you want to feel intimidated? Would you want to feel fearful? Because the persecutor takes zero responsibility, and you really want to cut ties with that. Now, interestingly enough, as I mentioned to you a couple of months ago, I bounced into a persecutor who had actually turned into a client, who is now an ex-client, of course. It's just interesting because I've never been in that situation before, but now I understand what to look for. I understand that I need to stay well away from persecutors, because they can be extremely damaging to not only you, but also to your personal brand too. Number 5, the know-it-all. Now, interestingly about the know-it-all is the know-it-all architect doesn't take feedback kindly. It doesn't matter what feedback you had for them. It doesn't matter what recommendations or advice, tips, whatever it is. They will always take it personally. They will always take it defensively. They see it as a personal attack on themselves, where actually it's not, okay? You're just providing some great advice to them, okay? But these types of clients think that you are not the expert, they are the expert, and they're going to make you feel undermined. They're going to start to question your integrity, your knowledge, your competency. And the question again is, do you really want to take on a client who is just a know-it-all, who's not prepared to listen, who is what I call uncoachable? And again, it doesn't matter if you're in coaching and consulting, or actually if you're in accountancy, you're in IT. If you're dealing with a client or a customer, and you're providing, say, an audit, you're providing a checklist, you're providing a top tips, and you're going through it step by step. These are the things that I would recommend. And all you're getting back from them, oh, I know that. Oh, yes, I know that, blah, blah, blah. Do you really want to be in that situation? The answer is probably not. Number 6, the penny pincher. I'll be honest with you. Many years ago, I used to use money as an excuse not to move forward. So I'm going to put my hand up and take accountability for that. And it was probably the reason why when I made a transition from one industry to another, it's probably the main reason why I didn't move as forward as I could do, okay? Because I thought I could do it all myself. But a penny pincher will always justify how much something costs, always on the ROI. They're always looking for bargains, discounts. Oh, can you do this for free? Can you do? And the thing is that they will want and demand that you give them more and more and more and more, but they will not compensate you accordingly. They may move the goalposts. So you may have an agreement or expectation or some goals in place, but they will move those goals, and they will expect that no matter what, no matter how much time you put into them, no matter how much effort, they will not compensate you accordingly. They are the penny pinchers. Do not attract penny pinchers. Number 7, the credit taker. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation like this. If you've been recognized, achieving an award, been on the front of a magazine, or been featured in a magazine, or you've achieved some sort of result, a credit taker will be someone that you have effectively delivered the results for the client. You've given them the framework, you've given them the methodology, you've given them the secret sauce, you've given them what they have required, but the credit taker will take all the credit. A credit taker is someone that doesn't acknowledge you. They will just ignore you, and they will just credit themselves. It's a bit like being in the corporate world when you get your boss, and you've come up with a great idea, and they present it to the board of advisors or the C-suite management or whatever it is, and they take all the credit for it. Avoid the credit taker. Number 8, the dreamer. Now, I've come across a lot of dreamers in my time, but effectively a dreamer is someone that has their head in the clouds. They set these impossible goals, these impossible dreams, if you like, and really refuses to face the reality of timelines, budgets, and limitations. They may set this impossible goal, and you know it's not achievable, but they expect a miracle, and they'll put really unnecessary pressure on you, and they make you feel bad. And so their vision tends to be very unclear. They have a lack of clarity, and they will often have a very scattergun approach. They'll often be headless chickens because they're a busy mess, and they'll demand lots of revisions, especially if you're a graphic designer or a web designer, and they'll endlessly try to drain your time and resources. They are the dreamer. Hey guys, I just wanted to grab your attention because we've just created a brand new resource for you guys called the Exit Playbook, how to shift from operator to visionary leader. Now, this was based on a podcast that I did a few months ago and is the leadership blueprint for being able to help yourself successfully exit your business. Now, we go into many different things. We're going into some of the common symptoms of why founders get trapped in operations and what to look for and the impact that it actually has on you. We also go into some deep dive exercises that addresses some of the fears, some of the reflections, also how to basically let go of some of the control that you have, but more importantly, how to shift your identity within your business and how to align your strategy to your exit and how to challenge your belief systems, more importantly. Listen, it is a free playbook. The link is in the show description notes. Enjoy. I think you're going to find it a really useful resource. Take care.
America leads the world in medicine development. It matters. We get new medicines first, nearly 3 years faster. 5 million Americans go to work because we make medicines here at home. And not relying on other countries keeps us safe. But China is racing to overtake us. Will we let them, or will we choose to stay ahead? When America leads, America cures. Let's tell Washington to keep us in the lead.
Learn how at americacures.com. Paid for by pharma.
If you are attracting dreamers, make sure that you run a mile because they will effectively, again, make you feel bad. And the last one is called the martyr. The martyr is someone that is constantly highlighting how much they sacrifice and how everything seems to work against them. That is creating a negative dynamic between you and the individual. Martyrs often place blame on other people like yourself, and they'll always portray themselves as the victim. And so it doesn't matter what constructive feedback you give to them or conflict resolution, it's impossible, absolutely impossible, because it'll go in one ear hole and out the other. So let's just give you a bit of a run through of the 9 different archetypes. You've got the perfectionist. The second one is the manipulator. The third one is the energy vampire. Number 4 is the persecutor. Number 5 is the know-it-all. Number 6 is the penny pincher. Number 7 is the credit taker. Number 8 is the dreamer. And number 9 is the martyr. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, hang on a second, Adam. You're telling me all these different archetypes of the types of people that I don't want to attract in my life, which is absolutely true. Is there actually any such thing as an ideal client? Let's be realistic, because all the experts are talking about the fact that your ideal customer profile is this, this, and this. They must have this personality. Is there actually any such thing as an ideal client? And the answer is absolutely. What are those characteristics? And so I'm going to give you 7 different types of characteristics that I believe you should look for when it comes to ideal clients. Number 1 is, what do I look for? It's called the pragmatist. All right. So the pragmatist is their focus on they're very goal orientated, but they also understand that being a perfectionist isn't always practical. They know that it's going to hold them back because they've got better self-awareness. However, they need accountability. If they don't have accountability, they'll never move forward. They'll never get the results. So you have to set up some sort of accountability. Number 2, the honest collaborator. Now, I get a lot of people reaching out to me actually in terms of collaboration. But the honest communicator is someone that is effectively looking for a good working relationship. They communicate openly and honestly. They build trust. They foster strong working relationships. In fact, one of my recent clients, who's in the IT industry, I see him as an honest collaborator. His communication skills are excellent, even though he is very busy. And again, this is what I really love. Communication is so key. And also making sure that there's an expectation between you and the other individual as well. Number 3, the energizer. Now, a lot of people see me as a bit of an energizer because I am very high energetic, but effectively, they bring enthusiasm, motivation. They bring morale to the team, and they love moving forwards. But they're deemed as a what I call a positive influencer on their peers. Number 4, the supportive ally. Now, what I love about the supportive ally is they're very good at sharing empathy or using empathy as a leader, which is a really good leadership trait to have. They love to encourage people. They love to help others achieve their goals. They love to rally and champion others. That is the supportive ally. Number 5, what I call the humble learner. Now, I talk about this a lot actually, but the humble learner acknowledges that they don't know everything, but they are open to learning from others in terms of their mistakes, in terms of tips or whatever it is. But the big thing that the humble learner is looking for is they're curious and they're intuitive in terms of their approach. That's what you need to look for in terms of the humble learner. Number 6, what I call the grounded visionary. Now, I'm a bit of a visionary because I love to empower people and actually say to people, do you know what? Is that all you want to achieve? And I try to give what I call the big picture. So the grounded visionary is someone that understands that your dreams are you can achieve massive dreams for that individual. But they're grounded. They're grounded. They balance vision with practicality. They don't have this kind of living in the clouds like a dreamer does, but a grounded visionary, that they have a vision that they are focused on, but they don't have these unrealistic expectations to go along with it, or what I call, as Dr. John D. Martini would call it, disillusional. And the last one is called the empowered partner. So one of the things that we like to do, especially in my business, is that when we take on new clients, I'm also looking for ways in which I could partner up with my clients, because again, it creates a really good symbiotic working relationship. But the empowered partner is someone that takes responsibility for their actions. They contribute to constructive and solution focus-based working relationships. Okay. It's similar to collaborations, but effectively someone that's going to empower you, that's going to make you better. That's the empowered partner. So that is what I would do. Now, if you are looking to weed out problematic clients, these archetypes are going to help you to understand what key characteristics you need to look for. But ultimately, how are you qualifying your clients or your customers? What things are you putting in place that's going to make it harder for you to work with them? And so one of the things that I've actually done in my own business is, if someone wants to work with me, especially during our mastermind, is they now need to provide character references, because again, I need to know who that individual is. I need to know how they tick. I need to know what motivates them, what demotivates them. I need to know if they've got any trauma, because again, I don't want that to interfere with our results. But the last thing that I would highly recommend, especially when you are in a sales call, and you're walking people through how you can help individuals and solving their problems, is intuition. And ultimately, if you don't like that individual, why would you take them on as a client? Now, I'm very blunt and straightforward up front. If I don't like someone, I'll tell them this isn't going to work. I'm just as blunt as a brick. Now, I'm not saying that you should go about doing that as well, but if you don't like someone, or intuitively it doesn't feel right, then don't go for it, because I can guarantee you further on down the line, it's going to prove a lot of problems. So the other question that you have to ask yourself is, when it comes to pre-qualification, what are you doing to put in place? Have you got questionnaires? Have you got references in place? Are you asking the right questions? Can you speed up that whole sales process instrumentally? So just a real quick recap on the ideal clients, on who I look for. So we have number 1, the pragmatist. Number 2, is the honest collaborator. Number 3 is the energizer. Number 4 is the supportive ally. Number 5 is the humble learner. Number 6 is the grounded visionary. And number 7 is the empowered partner. So listen, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed today's podcast. I hope it's given you some food for thought. If you have enjoyed today's episode, of course, feel free to reach out to me on hello@adamstrong.net, hello@adamstrong.net. But also, one thing that I really want to make you aware of as well is that we've created, or should we say it's in beta testing at the moment, is we created a brand new AI tool for you guys that are looking to effectively build your business strategy for 2025. So one of the research that we did recently is I found out that the biggest struggle for most established businesses is creating a 90-day plan or some sort of strategic plan that's going to help you grow, scale, and exit your business. Now, if this is something that of interest to you, I'm looking for some beta testers that would like to effectively use the AI tool, can provide some feedback so we can refine and articulate that. So if that is something of interest to you, do me a favor, click on the link or in the description below. I'd love to hear back from you, of course. And then once we're ready to fully launch that, which is going to be hopefully around kind of Black Friday, then we will launch it as well as part of our Black Friday offers. Anyway, hope this has been of use to you guys. And I just hope that this has given you some food for thought. Anyway, thanks very much. Hope you appreciate today's call. Cheers now. Bye-bye.
Rinse knows that greatness takes time, but so does laundry. So Rinse will take your laundry and hand deliver it to your door expertly cleaned. And you can take the time pursuing your passions. Time once spent sorting and waiting, folding and queuing, now spent challenging and innovating and pushing your way to greatness. So pick up the Irish flute or those calligraphy pens or that daunting beef Wellington recipe card and leave the laundry to us. Rinse. It's time to be great.